lucky enough to run into one of the most important men from Montego Bay at this time. Not the minister, not the prime minister, but the mayor of Montego Bay, His Worship, Councillor Vernon. Councillor Vernon,
Greetings.
good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yes, man. Listen, I've been trying to reach out to you, but trying to find you, like trying to find the Pope in Rome.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you've been busy.
Myself has been inundated.
I realize.
It's a tough time.
I hear you had a press conference yesterday or a community meeting.
I had a community meeting in Catchinall.
In Catchinall, West Green, trying to give an update because Catchinall is one of those spots now that have a multiplicity of things happening there and not happening, and some situation there is not all that tenable.
Yeah,
Can you speak to it for me a little bit?
We regard it as our ground zero in St. James. Many areas were significantly impacted. Catchinall had compounding of many of the effects of other areas. Some had flooding, some had infrastructure damage. Catchinall had
a combination.
So, a part of the approach for us has always been proper stakeholder engagement. It was difficult getting a community together prior to yesterday to have a meeting for obvious reasons. Persons were trying to get back their selves.
Yeah, their lives trying to get it together.
Many persons almost drowned. So to meet with persons in that condition at the time would not be ideal. So we started the work then. We've been in the community for at least 10 days now. And throughout that period, we have removed over 700 truckloads of garbage,
debris and all sort of things.
Debris. And we have gone in there as well with the Ministry of Labour and Social Security to distribute care packages, provide aid, along with several other entities that have rendered services in the community to bring about some type of comfort to a highly distressed population there in Catchinall and West Green. So our meeting covered several areas, and I invited my colleagues from the other ministry, agency and departments. So for example, public health, there is a public health concern in the community. We were there on hand to address some of the concerns, mosquito-borne diseases, vector control program. They committed the fogging to start yesterday, I believe. Yesterday was the meeting to start today. So they're going to ramp up their fogging operation in St. James, but at the same time starting at what we regard as a ground zero. The health center was compromised and water has been restored to the community, so we can reopen the health center so we can continue offering primary health care. We have dispatched community health aid in the community. They are visiting the vulnerable groups, the shut-in, persons with disabilities who can't really move around to reach the health center, so that we can help them to maintain a healthy life. Now, we also invited the Jamaica Fire Brigade, and it was critical to have them there. Whilst the community is on edge and is advocating to get the restoration of electricity, we have to be mindful that the entire area was inundated. So, mud is still in the plugs, the sockets, you name it. So JPS joined us, and along with Jamaica Fire Brigade, St. James Division, educated and sensitized persons about the necessary steps to take before restoration for the community, which is to get the qualified person to do an inspection. In some cases, they were even talking about re-certification of premises and all of that. But luckily, our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, was also present to provide some high representation where getting to the national body that deals with electricians and experts in that field is concerned, so they can devise a strategy to alleviate the burden associated with getting the hands and the minds to do the assessment right across the community.
They put a timeline on that? Because
they're working on that.
They're working on that.
Not a timeline that we can establish immediately. Mind you, power can be restored to the community and nothing happens. as well as
Mhm.
it could be restored. And we have other challenges.
I know
to deal with.
challenges.
And that is why the Jamaica Fire Brigade is mindful because they would have to be first responders in a situation of fire.
A fire, right?
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security, they were there advising persons how they can get assistance at the office, different types of grants available,
Okay.
and how they can access them. Pensioners, persons on park, you name it. So it was a joined up approach entering the community
Okay. Okay.
to get the citizens sensitized and to also allow them to think outside of their immediate devastation.
And to give them some amount of fundamental reassurance.
Yes, because in the devastation, there are so many things happening. We
And
don't
people are
really
angry
realize
and miserable and distraught.
and we can understand
Mhm.
how they feel.
Mhm.
It's important to understand that, lest you won't respond
Mhm. Mhm.
with the needed.
Yeah, the treatment for the situation
you don't-
because you have to understand. Yeah.
You have to understand.
You have to, but Mayor, while I commend for you for that kind of approach, but I have not heard you said, but that you're likely to get to that possibly. And I've been listening to things, or I've not heard much about the churches, and I've not heard much about how do I invite the opposition to participate in this process, which is a national process. And that's a kind of a concern that people have.
Well, at the St. James Municipal Corporation, for us, it's not about opposition. It's one council. We have 6 PNP councillors and 11 JLP councillors. It's one council. We don't have opposition and government. We have council. And we have been working as a team to distribute care packages right across St. James. In partnership with the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, the Jamaica Defence Force, we, the St. James Municipal Corporation, we have distributed over 20,000 care packages across the municipality. Much of these distributions were guided by the councillors because they understand the ground and they are in partnership with the officers, the social workers from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, who are poor relief officers, the social development.
So the council carry this.
Right.
All the councillors across the
Right
board.
across
Okay.
the municipality. And 6 of those divisions are PNP. So for me, no opposition in St. James.
Okay.
One government.
There's one government. As far as your office and your operation is concerned.
One government.
The churches.
The churches have not had a comprehensive or even a pre-update on the infrastructure of the church. My observation, they have sustained significant damage.
Yes, they have.
Even our beloved Baptist churches here in St. James that are a part of the history of
Yes,
St. James.
it's by the damage.
Samsha,
Yes.
Baptist Deacon, the Baptist church.
Churches, yes.
Very rich part of our history.
Yeah.
They were badly damaged. And of course, many of them historic buildings. So the structure would have been easier to be compromised given the time that they were built. And we realized that, for example, Calvary Baptist Church, a section of the roof gone, and several other churches sustained damages. But the ministers fraternal would more than likely be able to give you proper updates.
Yeah, but in terms of their participation with any kind of a relief work that you are doing.
From that extent, to that extent, they have given much support. There's a group, faith-based group at what we refer to popularly called Dragon Gym.
Yeah, Dragon Gym, yeah.
They have been giving out packages
Yeah,
daily.
that we notice.
Right? We also have the Custos of St. James, Honorable Bishop Conrad Pitkin, working closely with us. He is the co-chair for our Emergency Operations Center. So myself and the Custos, we share that. He also received some supplies and he's distributing to the churches. The Seventh-day Adventist Church, they have been very strong in their approach in the recovery process, assisting with tarpaulins, providing aid, food in general. So they have been very active in the recovery participation process. And the ministers fraternal, as I mentioned earlier, they are very close to us in this cooperation. In fact, each month they send a representative to conduct our devotion.
Okay,
stuff.
good. Yeah.
So in Montego Bay, we're a family.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
one big community
Okay, good.
or a small community.
Well, it's good to hear that. One of the challenges that you're likely to have, the government will have actually, after we finish the rush distribution of care packages, because that's an immediate need and a call and so on. The real Aki is how we help the people put their lives together in terms of building material, tools, because the government cannot build everything, and people ought not to have the expectation that it's going to be that. So, in terms of one, how do you divest yourself of one that expectation by including their participation in a rebuilding effort of this? And this is material here, blah blah blah, that sort of thing, and how you get, because that is going to have a kind of a leadership that goes with that in order for that to be real, because a group of people still on the tarpaulin are living in somebody's house or in somewhere else. So that is where the real Aki comes, where the leadership and the restoration is concerned.
So you have the response,
Mm-hmm.
restoration, and recovery.
There you go.
We have responded.
Yeah.
We have responded on the night of, and matter of fact, we have
And you continue responding.
we prepared ourselves, and if we did not prepare ourselves a particular way, there could have been a greater catastrophe. We cleared drains, we cleared Pie River, we cleared all the tributaries that we know are impact areas across the city of Montego Bay. If we did not touch those, it would be
The tone of the gun. The tone of the gun.
right.
Literally.
So the
Yeah.
preparation, the response, we responded on the night of, we rescued many people, brought them to shelter, even an elderly home. The top blew up. We rescued 6 elderly persons there. They were in the home.
Okay.
Brought them to shelter. Rescued persons from the fishing village. Although we were getting the calls because once I activated the EOC,
Yeah.
all the calls came into the EOC, and all the responders are
We're able to carry out the
that is
task
where we sleep, eat, wake up every day.
in order to just to make sure that you're on top of it.
We
Well,
meet there every day.
yes.
That's the response. And we have responded also by providing aid, care packages, getting support from ODPEM, doing the airlifting with JDF, to the Ministry of Labor. I said some of that already. So, in the restoration, we have to now intensify the cleanup. What JPS is doing is restoration. National Water Commission is restoration. Getting our infrastructure back together, ensuring that the space is livable and business can be done within that space, because that is going to set the tone for recovery. So we're at recovery stage. When we reach at the recovery stage, the precursor to the recovery stage is assessment. And that is done while the restoration is on. So as I speak, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, the Social Development Commission, the councillors, they are in the divisions, capturing information, damage assessment. So they're doing the questionnaires, finding out what is happening with the residents, what type of damage is sustained, because it is going to be the basis on which the national government devises a recovery package for these persons. What can we afford? What we can't afford? That will guide that decision. So when it is done, the response.
And you said that is now being done.
That is now being done. Assessment is now being done. In fact, we have done 746 assessments
Already.
across 28 communities
In the parish.
in the parish today.
But you don't know what
I
it
only
was.
speak for St. James.
Okay. But you have any idea what is the magnitude of the assessment that needs to be done, though?
So the assessment, yeah, we understand. We understand it. We understand it. And that is why we are also looking at the possibility of ramping up the boots on the ground by reactivating our youth summer employment program that we do every year, where we employ over 500 youngsters in St. James alone. So we're looking at that option, train them quickly and dispatch them under the supervision of the experts from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security to help to gather that information so we can have that collated data quickly. As I said, that will help with recovery. During the recovery process, some key things, all of what I mentioned prior, lead up to the recovery process. So we have to ensure that we connect to key services, police, water, the main hospital, Corner Regional Hospital, the business district, because they provide access to services for safety, and they also provide access to employment for the business district. And that is why in JPS's rollout, it's a structured rollout, they targeted those areas because people must go back to work.
The health department has to function.
Right?
People must earn.
You must earn so that you can push on the blow from your salary, compounded in what the government will provide. So government will provide some support, but ultimately we'll have to take our time to rebuild how we want and how we feel comfortable in that recovery process. Recovery process is not a short sprint.
No, it's not a walk in the park.
It is a long distance run.
Definitely.
And my hope is that once we have reached a very advanced state of recovery, that we don't have any more catastrophe to deal with.
No. Well, one of the concerns we have before you get to the advanced stage of recovery is the kind of a leadership that is going to be wanted and needed on the ground, because the love blood tolerance of people can be limited and can be, and we are at a stage where we have a generation towards a microwave generation that you'll have to deal with. We want it last week. So in terms of is there preparation, it means you need more bodies, more minds, more persons to be out there interfacing. So the leadership on the ground is going to be fundamental.
But you have said it. You have said it. That's what it is.
And
That's what it is.
I just don't know how
we
fortified will your department be by the central government to give you extra tools to be able to assist that process.
We have started the process, and of course, we definitely need reinforcement.
Yes.
From central government.
Yes.
Because we have not built out local government as it
ought to have been.
And now, more than ever,
you see, wow, what a critical error when we could have done so.
It is obvious. And I say this with no apology.
Well, I'm happy you're courageous to say it, and I appreciate that.
We have to focus on building out our local government structure. Local government, but the local authorities.
Yes.
And the apparatus through which they can dispatch services.
But Mayor,
at the community level.
And Mayor, with that you're talking about the participatory process of the people.
And to be able to build a government that is resilient enough to manage a crisis of this magnitude.
Yeah.
Immediate response and later national support. Great. At the moment, we depend heavily on national support to get where we want to get.
But I keep repeating the point, Mayor. The people, if the people are not seen and invited into,
remember,
part of the building process.
First, a councillor.
Yes.
And a mayor.
Yeah.
Being a councillor gives me that first-hand experience of the temperament of people
at your community, in your communities.
And I have
one
of those communities that is not afraid. One of those
they not take no check, man.
Not afraid.
They not take no check
to share. Temperament.
Yes.
With you.
No. You see, you have the personality and the capacity.
Yes.
Somewhat. And the mindset.
Yes.
And training. Yes. I must admit that I understand of you to be able to manage that. How do you get the rest of everybody else to because you say, I know you will offer the leadership, but will you be harnessed or will you be given what is needed and required for you to be able to do that, Mayor?
No, I mean,
because the rest of the machine can make you fail, you know.
Well, we're not designed for failure at this point.
No, and I hope to God not.
You're right. Because we have no room for failure at this point. We will succeed, and where my colleagues are concerned, we meet with them. We meet on a regular basis, and when I call for meetings, they are both with PNP and JP.
Good.
So where they're having challenges, I listen and provide support. For example, one councillor expressed recently that there were still other areas that we need to press whilst we focus on the urban district. And immediately we found a way to make available funding to all 17 divisions for them to focus on emergency clearance and repairs in their section. And this is happening while
Everything else is going
catching
on.
on,
Yeah.
pinned down and catching on
Yeah.
the screen, sorting that out, and at the same time trying to pull more resources in a strategic way on a section of the city so as to manage those areas as well, lest they feel neglected. So we have to balance.
Yeah.
We have to balance. And it is something that if we never had it before, we need it now.
More than ever.
Community.
Yes.
When they said to me, Sir Vernon, we came out and we cut up this and we cut up that and we did this and we did that, my response is very good. You should do it.
Yes.
We can't do everything.
Yeah.
We too have been victims.
Yes. Exactly. And once they understand it's a shared catastrophe.
Right. It's a shared burden and it's a shared responsibility for our recovery process. Yeah? So I want to.
And once the leadership is there, it will happen, Mayor.
Definitely.
But you are going to be taxed more than anybody else to be able to carry that leader. Yes, literally. Because I'm not sure, and I can be very rude in saying that I am not sure the rest of the senior political leadership within, except for probably the Deputy Prime Minister in the parish, understands where you are and what is the magnitude and nature of the beast that you will have to tame. You might not be able to tame it, but I'm sure you'll offer, and you will go there like, Hercules.
Well, I believe in our people.
Yes.
And I believe that once we communicate with them and provide practical solutions to many of the challenges that they have and explain, more importantly,
communicate
the processes associated with recovery, general recovery process, then we can manage expectation a little bit more and at the same time get the hands to be on the deck so we can work together and build back stronger than we were before.
And I know managing expectations is one of the core part of your training.
Certainly.
When you're doing your masters.
We have to.
Mayor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Glad to hear that. I'm sure the diaspora will be more reassured about that. The city and the western region is in good hands.
Yes, I want to remind the diaspora as well that they can reach out to the mayor's office if they have any contributions, if they want to give any donation, cash donation, they can send it directly to the mayor's charity fund. And if you want to send in a barrel or a container,
just contact
send it to our Poor Relief Department. Our Poor Relief Department is a registered charity, and we will distribute it right across the parish to ensure that the vulnerable groups are covered and that those in need, they get what they must get. We have created a task force for the restoration and recovery process and the response process as well. But in the response process, the task force is now focused on vulnerable groups, the elderly, the disabled, the homeless, and the registered poor. And we are also getting all the agencies that distribute care packages and aid, as well as the ones doing cooked food, to put all the information in one system, where they're distributed, what they distributed, who they distributed it to. So we know where and how to redistribute other supplies that we're getting.
So you don't
we can have a spread.
Because
there are instances
where you too much things that happen in one area and other people are still
several times again, and some areas nothing. So we have taken up that initiative, which I believe is a key part and component of our emergency operations center to ensure distribution is even.
That is key, Mayor.
So we're working on it.
Thank you. Good. Yes, man, good.
And thank you very much, sir.
The pleasure is always mine.
All right.
Thank you.